Hey guys and gals of YouTube, it's your host Triple J, and today I'm going to show you, my lighter won't light, I'm going to show you how to play with fire and make what I call a stealth or portable campfire. I'll see you inside the video. Okay, so like I mentioned in the intro, I'm going to be showing you how to make what I call a stealth campfire. I learned the name from the person I learned it from. Basically what a stealth campfire is it's something that's easily portable, easy to hide, doesn't put out a lot of smoke. This is fairly easy to make. It used to cost under $10, but prices have gone up since I first learned how to do this. And initial startup cost me $11, $12. What you're going to need is a 1-quart paint can with a lid. You can pick these up at a home improvement store like Home Depot, Lowe's, anything like that. So you're going to need a 1-quart and a 1-gallon paint can. The reason I recommend getting them from a store is because you don't want a label on it and you want the insides clean. This was the most expensive part of the setup, but this is a one-time purchase. You know, you can keep reusing the same cans after you get it made. So besides the 2 cans, the other things you're going to need is a roll of toilet paper. I bought 4 at the Dollar Tree for $1. And I prefer 91% isopropyl alcohol, also known as rubbing alcohol. 70% does work, 91 works just a little bit better, and this cost me about $2.50. The other thing you will need is something to make a hole in the cans for ventilation. I'll show you how to do that a little bit later. I went ahead and chose a bottle opener with an attached can opener on it, because I figured this is something that you might have while you're out camping, as opposed to like a drill with the bit on it, which most people don't take one of those camping with them. So we're going to try to make it work with this. We'll see how it goes. If not, I'll end up doing something else. But basically I want to see if you just hypothetically found 2 cans while you were out camping, could you make one of these in the field? So I'm going to readjust the camera so you guys can see what I'm actually doing a little bit. I'm going to get a chair and a table set up. You won't actually be seeing this view of me so much. You'll be seeing mostly what I'm working with today. So hang tight. I'll be back with you in a second. Okay, so I'm back. I readjusted everything so hopefully you guys can see. So the first thing we're going to need to do is acquire one of our rolls of toilet paper. Now obviously you can just grab one from your bathroom, but the reason I prefer to go buy the cheap off-brand stuff that, you know, you wouldn't even really want to wipe with is because we're basically going to destroy this. I'm going to tilt the cam up just a little bit more. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is we need to take our roll of toilet paper and we need to remove the cardboard core from the middle of it. I'll show you why in a minute. This part can actually be a bit of a pain in the behind. Now, you don't have to worry about being perfectly neat with it. Just put that back in there. And what you're going to want to do is kind of, you know, roll it around a bit, try to floof it out, get it to fill in that gap a little. That's not going to fill completely in. So now that that's ready, we're going to take the 1-quart paint can. And this is where it gets fun. We have to make this fit in here. Now depending on how big your roll is and the ply, sometimes this is a little bit harder than others. I bought a fairly thin roll, but if you're using a bigger roll, and once you have it inside, what you kind of want to do is the same thing. You kind of want to fill it in so it's kind of solid, floof it out so it fills in the corners. Now, there's 2 things we can do from here. We can either set this aside and leave it be for now, or we can go ahead and just finish this part off completely. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this part off completely. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your rubbing alcohol and you're just going to Where'd I put my knife? You're just gonna pour it in and let it soak into the toilet paper. Nothing fancy, but it is a little bit time consuming because you kind of have to pour it and let it soak in. And you basically, try not to spill like I just did. But you basically want to pour it in until it stops soaking in. And the way I like to tell is, you know, I'll leave it sit for a few seconds, and then I'll turn the can up. I'm doing it off camera. But I'll turn the can up and see if I get any pure liquid pouring back out. I'm not sure about this roll of toilet paper, but it normally takes pretty close to a full bottle. This roll's a little light. I should have bought a heavier ply or a bigger roll with more sheets. So the reason I like to do this step first before we do anything else is that way it gives all this excess rubbing alcohol you're getting on your hands and on the outside of the can time to, see, we're not getting any liquid pour out yet. You don't want to just turn the bottle up and pour it all in. It won't soak in right. So basically what we're creating is a giant kerosene lantern, almost. The toilet paper is acting as a wick, which is going to hold our fuel, and then the fire is going to run pretty much predominantly off the fumes. The cool thing about these is they're reusable. You can put them out, you can relight them, and the reason why you want paint cans with lids is if you put this lid on good and tight, they don't dry out very fast. And the other reason why I like these is because let's say it does dry out or the toilet paper gets ruined, it's not that expensive to throw a new roll of toilet paper and some more rubbing alcohol back in your can, and then you're good to go again. So really the cans are a one-time purchase. I should have bought a bigger bottle. We're just going to go ahead and pour the rest of our rubbing alcohol in. And we're going to move on to what I actually foresee. Yep. I had a feeling that was going to happen. We're going to move on to what's possibly going to be the harder step just because of the way I'm going to try to do it. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to put the lid on that, not super snugly, but I'm going to put the lid on that, set our 1 quart can aside, pour the excess rubbing alcohol off of my table. And now what you're wanting to do is take your 1 gallon can, and we're going to make some ventilation holes in this, because what we will eventually do is take the 1 quart can and put it down inside. You'll see why later. So what we're going to do is make some vent holes. Now, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to try to do this with just a can opener. It probably won't work. You want to go near the bottom of the paint can. I had a feeling this wasn't going to work, so I cheated and I brought a hammer. Now you'll see that I dented my paint can slightly, but it's not that big of a deal. You just pop that back out. Now that we got our hole started, we can kind of just, you guys can't actually see what I'm doing. So once I got the hole started, I kind of just twisted that around in an angle. This can opener came from the Dollar Tree, so I'm not too worried about it. Now you don't need a big hole because we're gonna make 3 or 4 of them. Depending on the size of the hole, you know, if you make them a bit bigger, then you may only need 3. And if you're gonna do 3, I would suggest spacing them out kind of like a Y. And if you're doing 4, obviously you just kind of shape them out like a plus sign. Now see, that time it went in much easier. I'm still gonna hit it with the hammer a bit, just because I don't want this to be a super long video. I might speed this part up just so you guys aren't just sitting here watching me destroy a paint can with a can opener. So we're gonna go ahead and make 1 more hole. There we go. And like I said, we're not being graded on neatness. We just need a few ventilation holes, like so. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this. Let's try this again. We're going to take the lid off the 1 quart can. We're going to set that aside. We're going to put that there. I think what I'm going to do is, instead of putting it on the table, I'm going to put it down here in the grass. Move some of my stuff. Let's readjust the camera so you guys can see. Might move that a little bit closer. Alright, so as you guys can see, I just have that inside of there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a barbecue lighter, which will hopefully light for me. It didn't want to light earlier. There it goes. And then you just light it. That's all there is to it. Stealth campfire. Now, I know it's kind of bright out here, so you may not be able to see it the best. I'm going to pull the camera off the tripod for a minute and show you guys from a slightly different view why I call it the stealth campfire. So as you can see, it comes up a little bit above the top of the can. And the reason why this is the stealth campfire is if you need to put it out in a hurry, you just take your lid and set it on top. When you remove the lid, it's out. So you guys, there you have it, guys. Stealth campfire. About $10 to make. Quick and easy. You can just carry them around with you in your car, your RV, your truck, whatever. You know, you can make a couple up and just keep them laying around. Like I said, as long as you put the lid down on the 1 quart can, they last quite a while. I might come out once it gets a little bit later tonight and it's dark out and show you how much light one of these actually puts off. The other reason why I like using the 1 gallon can is because as the fire burns, the outside of the 1 gallon can heats up and it actually gives off a little bit of heat. I've been your host, Triple J. I hope you found this video helpful or educational. It's a cool little trick that I learned from a friend. You're welcome to try it at home. Just be safe when playing with fire. You know, let's not burn down any forest or anything. So, I've been your host, Triple J. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Hey guys and gals at YouTube. So, I know I already signed off in this video, and I know you guys may or may not actually be able to see me, but what I did want to do is come out now that it's dark-ish and show you how much light our little portable campfire actually gives off. So, without further ado, we'll light it up. Now it takes a few seconds to get going, but once it does, you can see that it actually gives off a fair bit of light. There's still no smoke. If we let it burn a little bit longer, the can heats up and you can just stand here and warm yourself. So this is just what I wanted to show you. I mean, even in front of it, you can see a decent amount. It's not the most amazing. You actually get more light if you take the little quart can outside of the gallon can, which we're going to try to carefully do real fast. And keep in mind this is hot. It gets hot fairly fast. So we're going to do that. And if we relight it, you'll see that just the quart can gives off a little bit more light than when it's in the gallon bucket, but it still gives off a good amount of light in the gallon bucket. And it goes out instantly. So, get some light back on the subject. I've been your host, Triple J. Thank you again for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, favorite, subscribe if you enjoy my channel and videos like this. I'll be sure to do more things like this in the future. And as always, take care.